Hello, welcome to PlanHub's General Contractor webinar. Today we have with us first Ryan Conlon, Director of Market Development. We have with us as well Justin Bell, which is our Director of Product. And finally, I'm Eduardo Masal. I'm a Product Marketing Manager at PlanHub, and I'll be the MC for today's meeting. Without further ado, please, Ryan, take us away.
Thanks, Eduardo. So just to get us started a little bit, let's talk about a little bit about the marketplace that we represent at PlanHub. We currently have around 320,000 plus active subcontractors and suppliers that integrate with our system on a regular basis. Out of these 320,000 plus, 290 plus trades are covered by these same group of people. And then also we are also provide to GCs around 3,000 plus planning stage project leads per month. So a really robust network and opportunity for our GCs to integrate or interact with our system and get a lot of value. So let's start off with a polling question. Getting an actual poll question in front of you guys gives us a lot of interesting data that we can help try to solution for you guys later down with the product down the roadmap.
Almost everybody had a chance to respond already, and we can see that 50% of respondents right now have seen all of the above happening in the last 6 months.
What are some solutions that would help solve some of the pain points that you guys have? Obviously, it would be nice to have a solution to be able to expand your subcontractor reach, to be able to qualify subcontractors and distribute your projects in a private plan room setting, to be able to simplify your access to supplier options, and then also ways to save time in repetitive tasks and be able to access hard to find private projects that are in planning and design conceptual stages to help grow your backlog of projects. So these are all things that we would love to be able to solution for, and I think we have some options that we are starting to work towards to help make some of these things less friction for you guys in your business models. With that being said, I want to allow us to start looking at a demo of our current product environment for you guys, and I wanted to let Justin take it away, our Director of Product extraordinaire. So thanks, Justin, and take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. So, like Ryan said, at PlanHub, traditionally, we've just been allowing general contractors to come on, post projects, and to be able to reach out to the hundreds of thousands of subcontractors and suppliers within our network in order to get better bid coverage. But there were a lot of problems that general contractors are facing today, whether it was knowing the quality of those subs, being able to target and pinpoint particular types of subcontractors, and also just to be able to kind of expand your business out even more, just beyond subcontractors and suppliers, but also to architects and owners who are working on projects that are not even out to bid yet, such that you can build those relationships ahead of time, and by the time those projects get into a bidding phase, you're a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of hopefully being able to put together a nice proposal for that owner and winning that project. So with that, I'm going to go into first just being able to post a project. So if I'm out here on my dashboard, all I do is just click post project, and you notice that there's two options that we have here. One is to be able to post a project publicly to our entire network. The other option is to post a project to a private setting such that not everybody will have access to that plan room. So again, if you post this project publicly, you will have access to tens of thousands of subcontractors in your area. If you want to be able to control that group, especially if you have a case in which the owner wants you and all of the subcontractors that you bring in to sign NDA before even being able to view the plans, you can opt for a private project instead. So I do have right here where we're about to finalize and save a project, and there's a couple of key things that you'll notice on here. One is that you can easily invite everybody within your network into the project. The other thing that you could do is really nice and easy is to be able to manage lists of contacts within your directory and be able to use those for project invites. The other thing that I'll point out here is this pre-qualification form. So I'm gonna check the box here and then go to customize, where we're allowing you to be able to have some flexibility as to what particular sections of within our pre-qualification form that you're interested in getting back from subcontractors. So for example, we have general company information, which is just a sense of their business profile. How large is the company that they're working with? What is the average project size that they're taking on? What year are they established? Licenses, certifications, project history, safety. So the next thing that I'll do and show you is if I go back to my dashboard. So here I can see I'm a little bit past my bid due date, and I can see I've got 3 bids received. One gave me a bidding status, and I'm obviously not great trade coverage for this project. So I'm going to go ahead in here and open up this project and go down to my bid section where I can see, again, just a very easy bid summary that we gave you in terms of letting you know your bid coverage. How many do you have? 0, 1 to 2, and then obviously 3+, where ideally you'd try to get at least 3 to 5 bids per every single trade. So if I just wanted to be able to kind of really hone in on, well, I really need to push those subs who are privately invited in and make sure that they're submitting, their bids for these trades, I can go in here. And the trades are already filtered down to the ones that I have not received a bid on yet. And right now I can filter for, just everybody who was invited into the project. If they've, at least viewed the project, or if they downloaded specs. I can also see their previous activity on top of my projects to make sure that they are actually active coming in and viewing. And then lastly, if I want to be able to send a bid reminder to them, they would essentially get an email reminding them to come back into this project, what the bid due date is. But what if I wanted to branch out beyond the context of a particular project and I just want to grow my network? I can click here for a networking view. So it's going to show about 200,000 that you have available access to, which is a really powerful tool in order for you to be able to give yourself a little bit more coverage and hedge against some of the labor shortages, and especially in those kind of key trades it's tough to find people for. So I'm going to go back to my electrician kind of example, and I'm going to select everything within that division. I also want to be able to see who are the ones who are the most active. I also know my owner is particularly picky on making sure that I have a good business diversification within, the subcontractor pool that I'm using. So we also are pushing our subcontractors to upload this information as well. So I'm simply just going to select all. And so right now I've got 451 that I can reach out to who are electricians. They've got one of those special, business diversity segment or certifications. And I can easily, if I want to, for example, reach out to Magitech Systems, I could either just message them individually within the app, or if, like most of you, simply just want to be able to pick up the phone and call them. And if I want to actually just message all 451 of these, I could send a group message to all of them. So that's our networking sort of functionality within a nutshell. And again, everybody who you upload, as well as if I just took that previous file of subcontractors, all of these subcontractors as well would be added into my network. So the last thing I'll go over before looking at some features that are upcoming is our lead finder. Our lead finder is particularly exciting to me, and I'm sure hopefully a lot of you as well, because it gives you access to early stage projects that are in, a budgeting or planning life cycle that we typically wouldn't have here on PlanHub. However, we've really tried to grow out the scope of what PlanHub is and what PlanHub has to offer in order to include these early stage projects for you. So for example, below I've got all of the projects within Florida that are in a budgeting and planning stage. From here, I can see all of the contacts associated with them. So that way I can see, well, who is the owner, who is the project managers, who's potentially the architects. And that way I can kind of manage and reach out to all of these. And if I want to get a little bit more specific, like for example, maybe a $30 million project is a little outside of my scope. I want to try to kind of hone in on a little bit of a smaller range. I also am looking not necessarily for new construction. Maybe I'm just looking for reno, but I am looking within multifamily, right? So I can just make sure that I'm looking at, the multifamily residential, that I'm looking at. I'll actually just do new construction. And I will also make sure that the value is either 10 to 20 or 20 to 30. And right now, just within the state of Florida that I've already pre-selected, I've got 362 projects that I can now go chase down. So those are the really big updates that we have for new tooling that we have planned for you. So with that, I'm also going to quickly transition back to Eduardo, who's going to share just a screenshot of 2 features that we're actively working on in development right now that hopefully you guys will also be excited by as well. One of them is our bid leveler solution. This is a constant exercise that has to be done for pretty much every single project, in that I have to take all of the bids that I'm receiving from my subcontractors and to be able to kind of play them side by side in a somewhat apples to apples manner. The other thing that we're doing as well is project cloning. And this is a little bit more of just an efficiency play that we're offering for all of the general contractors within PlanHub, in that if I'm going back to my AutoZone example and I have a deal with AutoZone for 140 AutoZones all across the Eastern Seaboard, I'm not going to go in and create 140 projects back to back to back and have to fill out all of the same information over again. I just simply want to create one AutoZone, use all of that information, and then tweak a couple of key fields such as store number, address, maybe some of the trades, and then the files, and then just be able to click one button and have that project be posted within PlanHub. So with that, I'm going to pass the ball back to our MC, Eduardo, to close this out.
Well, thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. And once again, we appreciate you being with us this time, and we wish you to have a great rest of your day.